Hey guys, Kidru here today, and I have another Sony Vegas tutorial for you guys today. Today I'm going to be covering a tool known as Vent Pan Crop. And sorry, there goes my cell phone. Sorry. Anyhow, continuing on. Vent Pan Crop is a really useful tool in Vegas, and it's something that you're going to be using a lot if you're doing some cool effects. And it has to do with keyframing, so you'll get a little bit of keyframing in this video. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to File, open a video that I've previously recorded. That's pretty short. I mean, I don't really want a long video. I'm just using this as an example. Okay, so let's see here. What video? I'm gonna use this one from previous video. It's only about, it says 36 seconds, so not very long. Or not 36 seconds, so like a minute about. Okay, so I have the video here, and now what I'm gonna do, if you actually see this tool right here, this little button, I'm gonna even zoom in right there. It's called Event Pan Crop, and if I was to click it, it brings up this window. Now this does a lot of stuff with panning and cropping. Panning is to move around, and to crop is to adjust the size, or what it looks like to crop it. So if I actually zoom out, you can actually zoom out by scrolling out. This is your full circle. Basically, this square right here is what the actual media is going to be. That where that square is where you're going to see this in your preview box over here. So let me just close this so you can actually kind of see it here. I want you to be able to see the preview box and the thing at the same time. So if I was to take this corner and pull down, you would see it would zoom in because it's focusing. As I close down, it's cutting off the edges and zooming more in. If I was to pull out, it would zoom out. So in, closer, out, farther. And there's gonna be some quality changes because you're taking whatever video and stretching it or whatever. And as you see by default, when I did open this, it was 640 by 40. Your position here, it's gonna show your position over here. And you can actually change the aspect ratio, but I already knew it was 640 by 40 because that's how I recorded the video. So this whole left panel right here just shows all your information, your properties, and you can toggle that if you don't want to see that. And you can actually set presets on this too. I've talked about presets. But in this event pan crop, what you can actually do is you can see if you go to here, it has presets for stuff like 16 by 9 widescreen. So I was to click that, it would adjust this so it would be widescreen. So right now I have a widescreen formatted video. And I can go 4 by 3, stuff like that. I'm just going to keep it as the default. Y and X center, that's just how you want to move it around. Now if you go to rotation, obviously the angle and the how you want to rotate it, but you can also do that by just going out here and clicking and moving that around as you want. Smoothness, that's keyframe interpolation. I never really had to mess with that. Really adjust smoothness. But maybe, I guess, if you zoom in and you do use keyframes, which I'll show you an example, you can adjust the smoothness. Maintain aspect ratio. Now, that's so it'll keep the video, when you're zooming in, it'll try and maintain the aspect ratio, which is 640 by 40 or whatever you recorded it at, to keep it at good quality. Now, if you want to stretch it out a lot, you kind of want it to be big, you can hit no. That turns out that can help in 16 by 9, because you see if I hit yes, you see those little black lines, it kind of keeps it in proportion. So if I was to hit no, don't maintain the aspect ratio, it kind of stretches out the video so it fills up everything. Stretch to fill frame, that's the exact thing I was talking about if I was to hit no. Again, it kind of just distorts the picture to make it look, elongated and fit in the 16 by 9 aspect ratio or whatever, you're putting it into. Workspace, that's just the zoom, X offset, Y offset, and the grid spacing. Now you have your tools here, your zoom tool, and you can, zoom in. Snapping, I've talked about that, just kind of snaps into place. And the lock aspect ratio, size about center, and just move freely, and that just moves the tool freely. Oh, sorry, I was zooming in there. But I like it to be, I mean, you can choose it if you just want to move Y, which would be just moving up and down. That's all, you can't move side to side. Move left and right, or move around all you want. Now you see this here is mask. Now if you're in Sony Vegas Pro, you'll see this. In other versions, you may not have this. If you click it, it opens up a whole nother thing. But I really don't want to talk about mask right now because that's a whole nother thing that I don't really want to get into. For a whole nother video. It's kind of harder to explain. It's a whole nother effect. So I'm just gonna talk about the positioning of event pan crop. Now, cool ways you can do stuff with this. Now, let's say I want to take the keyframe. Like I said, we're gonna be using keyframes here. Let's say a little bit into the video, I want it to kind of zoom in. I can just do this, and let's say I want to zoom in even more, a little bit after that, and again, just close it on my face slowly by slowly. And it's all using a vamp pan crop. I mean, you can do effects, but a vamp pan crop just makes it that much simpler. And then I can even, let's see, after this, get into some rotation. So, I mean, you're cropping the video, you're panning it around, you're really, making it your own. And that's what's really cool about the tools and integrating it with keyframing. It all kind of falls into place. And I'm just gonna zoom out again. And then finally, I'm just gonna zoom it all the way out. So I mean, that's just one thing you can do with the video and using keyframes. You can adjust the video how it looks and how it stays in frame, or if you want to stay in frame, or do this little effect what I did. And I'm gonna hit play here so you can see this. Hopefully you can see this. And you see that as it zooms in, and I can even show you here as it grays along how it kind of just zooms in and then kind of does that little wobbly effect. It makes it look like the camera's kind of shaking. I mean, you can do a lot of cool things here. Let me see. But no, I'm sure you guys were able to see that. I mean, you see there, it just kind of, let me hit play here. See that effect? It kind of just twirls it around. I mean, event pan crop, like I said, you can really just get creative and do, a whole bunch of different things. You can even do picture in picture with this. So if I was to take this, and if I was to take in something like this right here, let's see, make a whole other video track and put this over. I can even do it's picture in picture. I mean, I'll do a whole other tutorial for this, but if I was to go into a vamp pan crop for this layer on top, I can minimize this. It's kind of, no, sorry, not what I want to do. Hang on here. Sorry, I'm sorry, but as I was saying, a picture-in-picture effect. I mean, I do a whole other tutorial on it, but basically, if I was to say stretch frame, say no, and then if I was to go here and say stretch frame, stretch to fill frame, you'll see that I can just have that video just right there, and it's not showing anything else but the actual, thing that I have, the shape that I have in the pan, little square there. So I can click over here. I can say, move that over here, and I can even have this. This can even be another video if I want it to be, and I can have another video, running up over here. I mean, a vamp pan crop gives you a lot of cool ways to do little, effects here and there, and even add picture in picture as I showed you right there. Just a quick example. It lets you adjust the video angles. You can zoom in with the vamp pan crop. It's really cool, and it's a really useful tool in Vegas. So if you're getting started, really play around with it like I did here. Do some picture-in-picture effects if you can, learn that. I'll do a tutorial on that too, and I'll even do a tutorial on masking. So look forward to that, guys. In the next edition of these Sony Vegas tutorials, guys, I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, email me, adrianstech@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.